Hi Fosters, it's Kayla. I'm back. It's me. I did want to hop on to another video today, and today I want to cover virtual home visits. So a lot of these little tips and tricks are going to apply, obviously, with an in-person home visit as well too. But I just kind of wanted to go over how I normally have been doing them recently. So I do always have either on the computer or in a printed version. I'll have our paper home visit checklist with me. I don't fill it out because it doesn't need to be turned in, but I do have it with me, and I use it to bring up different topics and questions, and then in turn, then I always think of things to let the adopters know. So it's helpful to have it in front of me, and then I know that I kind of covered all bases by the end of it. So I think half of doing a virtual home visit, I think half the problem is just being outgoing and feeling comfortable enough with asking somebody to walk around their house and show you all their bedrooms and nooks and crannies. I'm past that. I don't care, so I will ask them, but I think that's half of it. Half of it is just, getting out there and say, okay, great, can you walk around? We'd love to see the place. So that's what I do. They do inside and outside. I want to see all the bedrooms. And I don't, I'm not doing this just to see kind of how nice their house is or how clean it is. I judge whether or not somebody's ready for an adoption based on how much love and attention I know that they're ready to give a dog. But we also want it to be safe, especially if we've got little puppies and stuff. So this is a great opportunity to bring any training tips and tricks that you've been using in your foster home with the adopters in their home. So it'll be super helpful if you can give them things that you've been doing at your place and then helping them figure out a way to utilize it in their new setting as well too. So I normally take this opportunity to not only check out their place, but half of it is more education than anything. So like I said, I go through the checklist. First page is just residential info and numbers and stuff. But the second page, first question is Sorry, somebody's texting me. The second page is street traffic, how busy it is, where they're at, do they have a fence. These things are important because it might depend on what dog they're getting as to whether or not it's going to work out. If we have a res dog that chases any car he can get his eyeballs on, and will also go after any little critter or squirrel or rabbit or bird, downtown urban setting might not be the place for him. So we have these questions on here to bring up what you think might be best for the dog and to go from there. So we've got street traffic. Fencing is an important question to talk to people about. If you've got crazy Toby on your hands and you know that he's going to clear a 4-foot fence, then let them know that. Say, hey, it's great that you have a fenced-in property. Just so you know, I think that my dog could jump over this, or he has, or I'd be worried that he'd be able to if he got too excited about something on the other side. So use that as an opportunity to let the adopters know this is great, but it's also something I want you to watch and keep him on a leash or a tie out or be outside with him just until you know whether or not that's something he's going to decide to do. So it also asks about basement and garage access. I use this as an opportunity to create spaces to put boundaries in place or to keep kennels to kennel dogs when they're asleep or gone. So basement and garage access is a big thing. I think it's super helpful, so that's why that's on there. If I've been using my basement or garage access at all, I'll make sure to mention that to the adopters. If I have got a dog that darts out the front door, every chance he gets, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? We've got 3 small kids in this house, so because Toby likes to just take off, or I know he would take off, or if he were given the opportunity, if the kids left the door open, he would take off. I've been using my garage door, and then I'll get outside that way. Or that's the rule for the kids. My kids, it actually is a rule for my kids. If they go in and outside, and we have foster dogs, they go out the garage door because I know that there's going to have to be 2 doors that they go through to get outside to play, rather than the front door that's just like a straight shot to the street. So I'll use that opportunity to let them know what I've been doing and if I think it's recommended to continue to do that. So like I said, we go through every room. This is a great opportunity to say, hey, I noticed the upstairs is all carpet. and toys or beds, or you've got your office up there with all the cords. This is a great spot right here at these stairs to put a baby gate, or to create boundaries and him not be allowed to go up there, at least until Toby is potty trained, or we know he doesn't have any anxiety when you leave the house. So it's a great way to say, hey, you know, or you could say, hey, that laundry room upstairs, it's all like linoleum flooring. That would be a perfect kennel spot for at night. So we use it to bring up hazards that we see, but we also use the in-home tour to also bring up things that might be helpful for that foster to adjust to a new home, and for the adopters to kind of be prepared for what he's used to, and how to continue keeping him safe. So I'll go through that. I go through, like I said, it talks about fencing and yards, talk about, let's see here, obedience courses. I always make sure to, again, remind them if the dog is under the age of 2 years old that they will be required to do obedience courses. Our dogs often come from really limited socialization areas, so no matter what, at any age, we'd recommend it. If the dog would do okay getting there, then we want them to continue to do that, and we would highly recommend obedience courses. So I always tell that to the fosters, or to the adopters, during my home visit as well too. It might not be required, but it's extremely helpful if they continue that socialization process. Make sure they get in the car, they meet new kids, dogs, people, they go in stores, they walk across parking lots or down sidewalks. It's a really important part of them being able to function when you're trying to take them out places, if you continue that, because sometimes we only have them for 10 days. So sleeping area, I always say create boundaries initially. That's super important. It's the top rule in my home. Right away, my fosters, no matter how sick or scared or needing attention they want, I have strict boundaries. That is the most important part to, I think, fostering as well as adopting too. But especially fostering, it's going to be good to kind of, you know, have areas that you don't have to worry about dogs messing up or getting into. But it's important for adopters as well too. Anyway, so back to kids, special needs dogs. I always make sure to let them know that decompression time is sometimes important. You're going to always have that dog named Freddie that comes in and 20 minutes into it, he's good with every kid, cat, and dog in the house. But I'd say half of them need a few days of adjusting before you are throwing the neighbors and the kids and the other pets and the friends' pets and the camping trip at them. They need some time to decompress. They did at your house, they're going to again at the adopter's house. So I always take the time to mention that as well too. You know, hey, he's been okay with kids, but my kids made sure to give him a few days to settle and to get to know the place and the smells and sounds. So we were going to expect that from you too. He does need a couple days to be okay with everything and everyone. But other than that, I just, you know, at the end of it, I think, hey, would I be comfortable with this dog being with them? And if you don't, let us know. If you have any issues, make sure to mention it to the adopter. A lot of times in the beginning, I'd get off the phone or out of their house and I go, oh, you know what? I don't know if they're prepared for this. But what I've found is the second I bring up my concerns, the majority of the time that adopter has already thought of the same thing you're thinking of. They already kind of have a plan in place, or a safety plan, or someone that they know that they can contact for help. And I feel much better bringing up my concerns and hearing what they have to give me. So feel free to always mention anything that you see right away, rather than like letting the adoption coordinator know and, you know, worrying about it and doing everything via email. It's sometimes nice to just be one-on-one with somebody and ask them what their plans are, and a lot of times you'll be pleasantly surprised. So if you have any questions, let me know below, and I'll also try to include that home visit checklist for you. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.